Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. We got a great show tonight. We have David Steinberg, U.B. Blake, Friendship, the group, Lee Ritenour and the group. And what was I going to say? Oh, by the way, I shouldn't ask you this on camera, but since we're back, if it's raining when the show's over, could you drive me to my car?
I have some guests tonight, but I guess you could squeeze in. Yeah, all right. Yeah.
I'll sit on somebody's lap because I'm only down about a block from where it is. You can have that number one spot if you want it. Speaking of number one, you like the blend? It's the old disc jockey train.
Yeah.
Speaking of number one.
Yeah. Here's the number one hit in North America.
You know, this is a nationwide number one bestseller. It's a book by Lauren Bacall. The hardcover edition came out, I guess, close to a year ago, and had sensational acceptance. And this is the paperback edition. I'm a great admirer of Lauren Bacall. She's not only a really skillful, fine actress, but she's kind of an independent person, says what's on her mind, and that's what this book is about. It's a very candid account of her life and dealings with people and marriages and so forth in professional life. And we're delighted she's here. Would you welcome, please, Lauren Bacall. Hey, it's nice to see you again.
It's lovely to see you, John.
It's the first time
It's been a year.
Has it been a whole year since you were
Haven't
here?
you missed me?
I have, and you know this now, 1980.
How much?
1980. Let me count the ways.
All right.
Wasn't that,
How do I love you?
Emily Dickinson? How do I
No.
love
Browning.
Elizabeth
Barrett Browning.
That's what you said.
Yeah, Dickinson is a ball player.
But a good ball.
But a good ball. No, I was thinking of Emily Dickinson.
Yeah.
And she didn't say, how do I love you? Let me count the ways. Do you know that at all?
Do you honestly think that I'm going to try to pretend that I know it? Do you know it at all?
I knew it when I was in school.
Oh, well, you want to go back to school and we'll both...
Not really. I had to get up and... were you good in school? Let's start at school. Were you a good... When you were in school, any level, did you love school? Did you hate it? Did you... or did you...
I didn't love it. I rather hated it.
Yeah.
I was vamping till ready. I wanted to get out like everyone else, you know.
Yeah.
I wrote a few notes to the superintendent of the school and the teachers, just saying that I was ill and that I wouldn't be there today, you know.
You actually...
Forged my mother's signature,
Did you do that?
and I got caught.
Did you really do that?
Yes, I did it, and I got caught. And I walked in the park, or I went to see a Betty Davis movie. I mean, I did all of the things that you know kids are going to do, you know, and at least that you knew kids were going to do then.
Right.
Now we're not so sure.
I've talked to a lot of performers, that's true. They would sneak out of school and go down, and some of the performers were in vaudeville, would go down and see vaudeville, they'd go see motion pictures. School seemed to bore them for some reason. Their mind, I guess, was on, even then, doing something else.
Yes, on wanting to work, on wanting to, if you had a goal, especially, and I pity anyone that does not have a goal.
Did you have that goal early, though, in life?
Yes, yeah.
You knew you wanted to be an actress?
An actress.
Yeah.
And it's the best thing that can happen to anyone, of course, is to know what you want to be. And
how did you know
it's
at that
lucky
age? Now, that
if
sounds
you
like a
know.
dumb question. How did you know? Because a lot of the youngsters fantasize at that age. You know, they go to motion pictures and say, I would like to be a motion picture star. Very few people, I would think, say, hey, I really want to be an actress. You know, how do you know at that age?
Well, I did fantasize.
Yeah.
I wanted to be, obviously, more than I was.
Right.
And I wanted to hide behind characters.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to see my name in lights, and I wanted to be someone else, obviously.
And it all happened.
And I am someone else. Who am I? No, don't wait a minute.
You're the baseball player, Dickinson. No, I'm sorry.
Oh,
No.
no.
You know, usually, I think we're friends. I would call us
Absolutely.
friends, right? We're good friends,
Absolutely,
and we
John.
talk together fairly honestly.
And if we saw one another often,
yes.
we'd be better friends.
Are you flirting with me, Betty Bacall?
I might. I have something for you. I'm going to
You
give
do?
you before I leave. Mm-hmm.
Can I see it?
It's a little thing to remember me by.
Oh, come on now, since you brought it up. I mean, that's not fair
Do
to
you
say.
have one like this? It's taken me a lifetime to get this, and I never thought I'd have it. And now it's yours.
Oh, I know what that's from. That's the...
It's a bookmark.
But look, I remember this.
It's a paper doll.
Was this not one of the very first...
Stills, yeah.
Stills
it's on
that you
the
took?
spine of the book.
Was this from what picture?
It was, I think
Was
it was
this
used
before
in the
Have
Big
and Have
Sleep.
Not or the Big
no,
Sleep?
No, it was used in the, but you see it's on the back of the book.
It's on the...
No, and Valentine had a terrific idea, and they made a bookmark out of it. And
Well,
I
this
just
is
thought
the
it was
only-
such fun.
This is the only time I'll ever get you between the covers. Unless, of course, you listen to reason. We'll do this first.
Hello, Reason.
Hello, Reason, and we'll come back. Here is something for people with pets. Less soil, rub shampoo. Thank you, Doc. We're back.
I could sit and listen to some music for a while.
Yeah, do you like to go out? People don't do that much anymore. You know, there aren't, we talk about just listening to music, and there aren't the places, the clubs like there used to be, where you just go out, sit down, and listen to music.
Oh.
You know?
Piano bars and all that stuff.
Yeah, like that, late in the evening.
We don't want to say the good old days, but maybe, I think in New York, actually, they're going to start, I think, with a couple
There are
of...
good places around. No.
Oh, thank you. Hello. Yeah.
Well, there are a lot of places out here that introduce new talent. The Roxy up on the Strip, and a lot of the places around town have new groups and.
Yeah?
Sure. Do you go out much? Do you socialize a lot? I see you occasionally.
Well, I try. Actually, I don't. I mean, it may seem that I that I do.
Yeah.
But this last year, of course, with the book,
Right.
I have not stopped working.
Right.
And traveling. And so it seems that I go out a lot more than I do because I think my face has just been around a lot. And I get the feeling that if I don't begin to really hide it and keep out of sight, they're going to stone me when I walk down the street.
I doubt that. Now, you've talked so much about your book. To people, you've been interviewed about this. I find it tough to ask you something new about it. Why don't you tell me something, just privately, that you didn't
Privately,
put in front of our
nobody.
audience?
Oh, yes.
That you didn't put in the book.
Oh, sure. Oh, why? Just, of course.
No,
Of
well,
course.
everybody can read the book and find out. Tell me something that
That's
you
not
don't have
in
to
it.
tell me exactly what it is.
Oh,
It's something
really?
you were going to put in the book and then said, I better not put that in the book.
Well, if it's not exactly, I won't tell you.
Well, was there anything that you thought second thoughts about, that you wanted to say? Because if I wrote a book now, there would be certain things that I would be reluctant to talk about.
Would there ever?
For various
Name
reasons,
one.
because some of the people are still around that you've known and maybe even been
Lived with.
married to.
Yes.
And that you wouldn't want to
But I had
divulge that.
that, you
I know,
see.
but you,
I mean,
you say some very private things.
I do, and I talked to Jason Robards.
Right, whom you were
to
married
I was
to.
married. I told him I told him I was going to write the book, and I said that I was going to write, about us.
Did you think it was
up
a
to a point.
fair treatment?
And beforehand he said, listen, you do whatever you have to do. I mean, Jason is that kind of man. He's a sensational man, and I
Right.
really love him a lot. And we're such terrific friends that if we'd only gotten along this well 10 years ago, everything would have been different.
Right.
However, he received it well, and I sent him. He got the first Bound Galley. After the
That's
the
before it's
children,
published, right.
Before it's published, went to Jason.
Did he call you and say, hey, buddy,
Yeah, and he was pleased about it, and he accepted it. He was terrific about it. There's only one person that's not crazy about being in it, and I know you don't know who that is, but
would that be Sinatra?
yes, it would be.
He was a little unhappy about it, huh?
I gather. He has never said that to me, and when you asked me if I would have left anything out or if I had second thoughts, I had second thoughts and third and fourth and fifth thoughts while I was writing it, but if there'd been any way to eliminate
Right.
Frank from
You might
that
have.
section of my life, I would have.
But it was part of your life. And
But I couldn't because it changed my life.
Right.
And it was a turning point. You can't, if you're going to write an autobiography, you can't eliminate important moments and important people. And he was important for
Right.
positive as well as negative reasons.
Can I ask you a question that I think maybe somebody has asked you, maybe they haven't? If Humphrey Bogart, your first husband, were alive, do you think he would like the book? Did anybody ever ask you that question? I just wonder what his reaction would
Well, John, that kind of question always, of course, throws me because how do you ever know what anyone's reaction would be?
Right.
I think that certainly in the context of the kind of man Bogey was and the life that he led, and knowing the kind of woman I am and life I've led, I think he would have approved because it's an honest book.
Yeah.
And he was an honest man, and I don't know, he would never have written one about himself, I don't think.
I would like to have known him. And I don't know why. I know why, because from what I've talking with you and his other friends. He seemed like an honest, he was a thoroughly professional actor.
Yeah, and totally straightforward.
And totally independent, and I kind of like that, and I never had a chance to meet him. But now you were both very independent, two personalities. You know,
Yes,
a lot of
yes.
people must have said, and he was, what, 20 years?
25.
25 years old?
Yeah, a lot.
A lot of people must have said, well, Betty, you're going to marry Humphrey Bogart, because his marriage before had been rather tempestuous,
Yeah.
to say the least, right?
3 marriages before.
And
Absolutely.
really rocking,
Absolutely.
socking, one of them. Right?
Yes, yes, and I was lucky that I was not on the receiving end.
And you were
Yes.
a young lady, very independent. Didn't people try to tout you off of that?
Well, I mean, my mother and my family certainly were against it before they knew him.
Yeah.
No, people that knew Bogey, of course, Howard Hawks was not in favor of it because he wanted to keep me his creation.
He's the one actually who discovered you, right? That.
And, well, Slim actually did, his wife.
His wife, that's
did, and then...
That's when you were
she showed-
modeling, you
yes,
saw the
and-
picture.
Yeah.
Right.
And, of course, I mean, when you look at the statistics of a man who's been married 3 times and is 25 years your senior, you say, well, how can it possibly work? But it could possibly work because you are a specific human being.
Yeah.
And I'm because the two of us just happen to go together.
Yeah,
It wouldn't always work, but I don't think there are any rules about relationships,
That's the trouble with trying to make generalized statements
Yes.
about that.
Yeah,
because there are no-
you can't. That's
Yeah.
why my next husband's going to be 12 and a half.
Okay, since you brought it up, now you're a single woman, as they say.
Yes,
I don't want to use the word
I
available
insist.
because that sounds like you're cruising or something.
Well, I might.
And I just cruise a wee bit. Hello there.
Just a little bit, hello.
Could that be a possibility? Is that too personal a question? And if it is, why? That's the way it goes.
It's the luck of the game.
That's the luck of the draw, kid. I mean, could that possibility exist? You meet somebody across a crowded room or in a cozy
Well,
car?
if I don't
or-
get closer, I'm going to
That's
get
right.
trouble. Yes.
Could that, and you say, hey, why
Get
not?
married?
Sure.
Well, I might, but I don't really see why anymore. I mean, I don't feel the need to. I actually I like living alone. I like a lot of aspects of it, and
Yeah.
I like, male company.
Well, one does not have to be married.
You know what I mean?
Sure,
John.
yeah.
But
No, because I don't like male company. No, what I'm saying is, you can
I like
have that, of
fellas.
course, without marriage.
yes, I just don't. I don't know. I suppose I was brought up to believe that marriage was where a relationship must finally go.
Right.
And that it is an additional final statement, even in today's world where no one cares whether people are married or not or have children in or out of wedlock. I suppose that because that was so firmly entrenched in my upbringing and my being,
Right.
that I probably would agree to marriage. I've never lived with a man, you see, without being married to him. Really lived with him,
Yeah.
because I always had children.
Right. Well, I think that's
But
good.
by myself. I say in 1989, the sequel to that book will be Still by Myself.
I think so.
Yeah.
If you're going to make a prediction for this decade, still by
This
yourself.
decade, I think, as I look around, John, there aren't many of you fellas available. You're all taken.
Well.
There's only one of him.
Did I just see a light flicker when you said that? Something?
Yes.
Did a light go out, or?
The heavens, it was the heavens.
God, you were lying. God is punishing you. You might say something. You said there are not many like you, and God went. I think a light just went out somewhere. Yeah, it's a good book. It's a good book. You have to leave.
It's
Can you
my
stay, or-
life. It's my...
Is Betty going to stay with us tonight, or do you have to leave, or what?
To leave.
Are you got something? You want Ed to
I-
drive you to your car?
I never have enough time with you,
Yeah.
but
Anyway, it's a most interesting book. Well written, and you did this all yourself.
I did it all by myself, and it's the only way to go. And I would advise you to do the same because I think everyone has a story to tell. And I, for one, would like to know yours, John.
I should do that.
It's
You know
very
what
rewarding.
You know what I didn't get in the habit of doing, and I'm sorry, is writing down little things from day to day, an episode that would happen, and put it away. I'm
You
going to have to go
remember,
by
though.
recall.
You would remember. I didn't write things down. But I tell you, as
by
you
talking
start
with
to write...
friends and talking with people
And
that-
also, as you start to write...
Yeah.
I mean, it's all stored back there somewhere.
That's what they say.
In that mess back there
Yeah.
somewhere. And as the doors open, one door leads to another door, to another door, to another door. And sometimes, when I was writing, sometimes
Right.
I would write, and then, like a week later, I would remember something that I'd written a week before. Say, that happened then, and it's
I see.
fascinating. I mean, it's riveting the way that happens.
I should do that. Does everybody get a copy of this book, Mark, when the book comes this way?
Well, I don't know if they have to go and buy the book, and
But is this
and
the
then
book?
if the bookmarks are in the bookstore, then you get it for free.
Hey, thanks for
You don't
coming
have to
tonight,
pay
Betty.
for it.
It's lovely to see you again.
It's lovely to see you, John. Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Thank you, Betty.
Some lady.
Yeah, she's quite a gal, isn't she?
Yes.
It really is. Did you see something flicker just while
Yes.
we were talking there?
Just
all of a
as
sudden?
that pronouncement was made, a light went.
Reminds me of the night, we had the earthquake some years
speak
ago.
of that, please.
morning, and then that night we were doing the show,
And the
and
whole
all of a
place.
sudden we
It
got
started
the
way up
tremor,
in the back, and you could hear it
and the
coming down.
camera moved, and everybody went. "Ah." But this building is earthquake proof.
Absolutely.
No, we want to assure you of that. It was built according to specifications.
Yes. Seismically correct.
Really? Let's hope so.
Seismically correct.
Okay, we'll be back with David Steinberg, U.B. Blake, and Friendship, Lee Rittenhour.